Hi, I'm Al Forster with AVF Consulting LLC. My website is avfconsults.com. In Intro to Common Sense Investing, I talked about my stockwatch automation methodology and my latest spreadsheet application that makes use of that methodology called GetStocks. In this tutorial, I talk about how to download, install, and configure the GetStocks application. First thing we do is open our web browser, type in oo.download, and it brings up the OpenOffice download link. When you click on this link, the server is smart enough to detect what kind of computer you have, whether it's a Macintosh, a Windows machine, or a Linux machine, and takes you to the right download page. You click on the download, and within 5 to 15 minutes, the application will be downloaded to your computer. You then quit Safari or quit your web browser, and for a Macintosh, you'll get a disk image. For a PC, you'll get an installer image. You double click on that and open up, for the Macintosh, you open up the applications directory. You create I call it a Open OFFC folder, and you would take and drag the OpenOffice application into that folder, as well as the license and README files. Once you've done that, what I do anyway, is I eject the disk image and then launch openoffice.org, and I'm presented with the OpenOffice environment, which gives me a word processor, drawing package, spreadsheet, database, and presentation package. In this case, we're going to open a spreadsheet, and what I do is in cell A1 I type something called, let's say, test, and I open up the spreadsheet to take up the full size of your desktop, and then I would select preferences for a Mac, or I'd go to the tools menu and select options for a Windows-based machine, and I select security, macro security, and I set it, usually it's set to very high, I set it to low, so nuisance warnings won't come up during the installation of my application. You click OK, OK again, and then I save the test file. I call it TEST, and I usually save it on my desktop. And it'll appear in the upper right hand corner. I then quit OpenOffice, and the next thing I do is go back to my web browser and go to my website, which is www.avfconsults.com, and I go to the GetStocks Term and Conditions button, which allows me to download a master library, an OXT file, which gets downloaded here, as you can see. And it also allows me to download the free GetStocks application. So then we can go to my downloads directory and drag the master library over there, and we can go to this same directory and drag the free GetStocks application there. Normally what I do at this point is I create a document directory that's called a GetStocks, and that's where I place these particular files. The GetStocks example 1 free file and the GetStocks master library file. Once we've placed these files in the correct position, I take and double click on the the GetStocks master library, and I also quit my web browser. Click on the GetStocks master library, and I'm told that I'm about to install this version. Since I've already installed the GetStocks master library, I'm not going to do it again, but you would click OK and then close. And then I launch the GetStocks example 1 free file. And you can use this for free if you send me an email requesting the free use of this application, and I will send you back the password used to access the free version of GetStocks. After you've installed it, it tells you it's good through the end of the month. And what I do at this point is usually I save the document as, I take off the example entry, and I tell it to save without password. Basically, I uncheck the save with password. And I'm going to save this to the desktop just so you can see that it's being saved here. Now when I quit this, I will be able to double click on the GetStocks free application, and you won't have to enter the password in the future, and everything will come up working properly. Notice that the spreadsheet is the full size of my screen, and that it is configured to be used. You click a process button and it will go out and acquire information on 9 different stock sectors. This is the free version. It doesn't allow you to make any changes or new entries, but you can basically see how it works. If you like it, you can click on this button right here under cell B8, and you can go back to my website, and you can buy the package, which is a $50 initial lease fee plus a $20 monthly support and sustain fee. Clicking the Buy Now button takes you to PayPal, where you can enter your credit card information, and I will send you the access codes for the full-blown version of GetStocks. So again, GetStocks has allowed me to become a more confident, less fearful investor, and I believe it can do the same for you. Hope to hear from you soon, and have a great day.